Everything with you is about time, isn't it? The past, the present, the future.
Caitlin's working with Savitar.
You know all of it, right? You know our strengths, you know our fears.
She's my best friend.
You know how much we love each other. And you know how to use that love against us. I know who you are.
It's about time.
Alright, out of my speedster, welcome back to a new video of GTA 5, but today we're gonna have something else. As you can see in the intro, you can see it's a recreate version of the latest, actually it's unreleased episode promo, yeah. It's some sort of like that, and today I want to talk about the Savitar. Instead of making a gameplay video, actually it's like a mixture of gameplay video and a discussion or some sort of like analysis. You just name it, and today we're gonna talk about who exactly is the Savitar right before they gotta reveal him. Finally, they gotta reveal him. We have waited for a month, but they still had us to wait for another week until today, just a few more hours before the Savitar's review. So I'm just gonna talk about the few suspects, yeah, those who has the highest possibility to become Savitar or just be Savitar. And the first suspect, it will be HR Wells. Even though a lot of people is gonna deny that, but I'm just gonna spend a little time to talk about him. For HR Wells, people say, oh, he has some sort of like a eyebrow scar. It's very similar to Savitar. I'm not sure. Actually, I've taken a look at some photos right here. You can see. I'm not sure whether that's a scar or just what, because it's not clearly. Besides, the scars from Savitar is a very deep cut one. You can see from a lot of photo of him from Savitar. It's a very deep cut of the scar, and this is kind of like a resemble of what he exactly looks like. But the HR Wells didn't have that kind of scar, and besides, you know what? In episode 19, the last episode have already shown us that in 2024, Savitar has already been trapped by Barry in the Speed Force. However, HR Wells is still live well and fine in 2024 as a writer or just some novel writer, yeah. So there's no way it's gonna be him. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is gonna be something like right after episode 19. A lot of people are gonna say that it's Ronnie Raymond, something like that. But you know what? Let's not talk about the facts or some sort of evidence to support it. It's not gonna happen. Just from your own personal feeling that Ronnie Raymond, seriously, he is already dead for like 2 seasons, and somehow suddenly you decided to put him out as the main villain of the whole season. Are you serious? Are you serious about this? I'm just saying it only has a very slight chance to become like the result would be like this, and it would be extremely disappointed for everyone, including me. I'm not sure you disagree, but I would be disappointed if that's really Ronnie Raymond. And now talk about some sort of evidence to support my point. I just say it's very clearly you see, even though when the first time Caitlin, Killer Fraud, saw his face, saw Savitar's face, and she already acts like so obeyed him, the loyalty is like high as fuck, you know. But anyway, I still think, you know, because like HR Wells, he has some sort of pen or something, yeah, just a device to, I would just call it change your face device. And for HR Wells, he already has something like this to change his face, and it's very easy for Savitar to change his face, maybe become Ronnie Raymond's face, and Killer Fraud just hear whatever he says, yeah, just like that. And the other thing is, you know, the Speed Force, actually in comic version, you can just vibrate or just, I don't know how exactly this worked out, but it just this, you can use the Speed Force to create your own suits. Even you don't have to create a suit physically. You just have to use the Speed Force to make it. So I think maybe this kind of logic can use it on maybe changing your face by using the Speed Force. I know it sounds a little unlogically, but it's still worth a shot. So yeah, that's why I think there's no ways Ronnie Raymond, in personally and logically, just all these reasons. And the final one, of course, is our main suspect for being Savitar. It's gotta be Barry Allen himself. There's so many points to support he is Savitar. So many points to support. He is Savitar. Yeah, you know, I'm sort of like mess around with the who exactly is Savitar in my intro, and it's somewhere near here. Hang on a second, let me just spawn this guy. There you go. Even though it's oh, sorry. Actually, I would be very fun to see if they really have someone like this, a suit like this behind it, because we can't see the last time. But anyway, yeah. There's so many points to support Barry Allen is Savitar, but is some sort of like a future evil himself is Savitar. And by the way, you know, I'm curious that this sort of armor of Savitar is actually made by Speed Force as well, you know. I don't know why he needs this, but it's just some sort of like crazy thing, you know. And I already talked about a lot of this, and maybe you have watched a lot of analysis talking about Barry Allen as Savitar, so I'm just gonna give you a few points to it. Everything Savitar said, just something like back in episode 15, I think, when he say the reverb thing with Cisco. You know, I've already talked about this, but again, Barry Allen is the only one around, and I'm not sure Savitar would be just like crazy as fuck and travel back in time to review his past. I think there's no way. It's just only Barry Allen know about this, you know. And the second thing, I've talked about this last time as well. You can see in episode 19, the future Barry Allen is some sort of like a desperate one. I don't know how to accurately describe him. It's just some person like have no reason or no purpose to live, to carry on to live. And it's very easy for him to turn evil, turn to the dark side, you know, when being so emotional, like I'm so desperate. I have no meaning to live. And maybe this is how he becomes Savitar. It is like he has a lot of reason to become Savitar. God damn it. Okay, let me just think of another. Hang on, I've got another reason, but I forget it. What is it? Just let me think about this. Yeah, I'll forget it. But anyway, I still think Barry Allen, a future evil himself, would be Savitar. You know, it's very hard to change. You might ask a question about, why does the timeline didn't change or affect him ever since, when he went to the future, that future Barry himself is gonna turn into Savitar. It's so likely. But how the hell when past himself made a decision that he would not abandon his family, and that which means that timeline no longer exists, and you may ask why the hell he still becomes Savitar, and the only reason why is because speedster like Barry Allen, they are protected by the Speed Force. You can make time remnants, something like that, and of course, it's very likely to be something like they will not be erased from the timeline, even though you create a new one. You know why? You know what I'm saying? It's some sort of like a time thing that I can't even explain myself. You may have to look into, do some Google thing to maybe you'll get an answer. But anyway, it's just like that is my thought. And you know, one more thing to say actually is it would be pretty decent to see they reveal Barry Allen's face behind this armor. But if they just reveal somebody we have never seen before, like a person that never appeared in the show, if that's really the case, and I think 50% of the people is going to drop out from watching The Flash. You know, you can't do that. There's no way you would just make nobody become the main villain. Yeah, that is a very likely the reason. And yep, there you go. That's what I think. Barry Allen must be the Savitar. And other than that, yeah, guys, I just suddenly got back the idea. I just suddenly have the reason back that I just forgot, and that is, you know, the whole season 3 thing is actually focused on telling us that, or telling everyone in the show or the characters that Barry Allen is actually a villain, even though he's a hero. You know, just right from the beginning, you know, he changed the timeline, screwed up everybody's life. It's already make him become a very big bad villain. Even the big bad villain in the Flash, the Reverse Flash, you know, even his timeline is a factor. It's screwed up by Barry. So, you know, it's sort of like this whole show this season is pointing Barry is the villain. So it's another reason why I think he is Savitar. So just hopefully I'm right, and what the hell? Yeah, just hopefully I'm right. I'm ready to see tonight's episode. And don't forget to just give a lot of comments like saying who you think they are, and by the way, don't forget to give some evidences before you just say any person is Savitar, you know. And you know, even you say I am Savitar, Clay is Savitar, something like that. Make sure you give a hashtag like Clay Savitar or something like that, just like last time. Maybe I really am Savitar. And I'm just gonna speed kill everyone. You guys will be shocked if they review I am the Savitar. Everybody got shocked. So many heart attack. So this is what I think about, and should be the end of the analysis of of mine. Hey, why did they drive in there? Anyway, I'm just gonna carry on with the gameplay for a while longer before we actually end this. Let's have fun. And did anyone ever suspect that Wally West would be Savitar? I want to support that, but I have ever heard somebody said that. Even though I think it's a bit crazy and impossible, but still I think it's better than nobody, right? Even at last they are going to review Wally West is Savitar is better than saying nobody is Savitar. A Mr. Nobody.